Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, the World of Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the 4th Defender in World of Tanks Blitz, the AMX-13 Defender. Now, this vehicle is a 4-shell autoloader, and as you can see, it has just come into the stores today, and I already know it's going to be in crates because, yeah, that's usually how Wargaming does it. So we're going to be making our way over to the site. Also, looks like you can get your hands on the IS-3 Defender, the T-28 Defender, and the Defender Mark 1. Now, in my personal opinion, get the Defender Mark 1 even before you want to get the AMX-13 Defender, because the Defender Mark 1 is by far the best out of all the Defenders in the game, and I would highly suggest that if you're going to spend any money, spend it on the Defender Mark 1. But let's go make our way over to bundles, and oh, these are expensive. It's a 5% drop chance, and it only gives you 3. Oh, God. Alright, well, looks like we're going to be dropping lots of money in today's video. Let's load up the mighty bank account, and let's drop some money on some crates. So, let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm going to be lucky, or if I'm going to get some of the worst luck you've ever seen. So, buy crates, and here we go. Purchasing the first bundle of crates. So, we got 2, and then, okay, so $15, I guess, for, what, 5 crates? Which would give me about a 20% chance to get the vehicle statistically. That's not great. Okay, let's see. That's gold. That's gold, and, that's gold. You need 25 charms. There's no other way to get the containers either. Oh, this is going to be so expensive. Okay. Looks like we're going to buy the $5 bundle now. Oh boy, I'm very excited to go broke in today's video. So, if we don't get it out of the 5 containers here, that means we're going to have to spend about $115 in total to get the tank, unless we get it in the $50 bundle, because then I'll have to buy another $50 bundle. So I'm very excited to spend $100 on a tier 8 autoloader. So let's see, did we get it? Oh, we did! Look at that! 4 containers of it. Got our hands on the AMX Defender. Now, of course, this is not how crates work. It's a 5% drop chance, and if you do the statistical numbers where you get the exponents and you multiply it by the power, it's gonna be, with about 4 crates, I would say about a 25% chance. Statistically, not even 25. 4 times, yeah, maybe a 15-12% chance to get your hands on the Defender with that much money. So I would highly suggest to not even bother looking at those containers. Those are the most ridiculously overpriced containers I've ever seen. Like, what the heck? 12 containers for $50. Yeah, do not buy the AMX-13 Defenders. Way too expensive already, I can tell you, for those containers. Wait for it to come back in the store. As you can see, the AMX-1390 Defender, of course, is now in for gold, 10,000, so just wait for it to come back, and you can get your hands on it a lot cheaper. I would suggest to get the $5 bundle, though. That's something I always say, is get the $5 crate bundle, because if you get your hands on the vehicle, well, then it's not too bad. But anything more than the $5 bundle, please do not spend your money. This is one thing I talk about many times, because it's definitely a ripoff, especially that one. That is one of the most jank crate bundles I've ever seen. Now, this thing does not hold the most ammunition, but I guess we're going to do 32, 8, and 8. That all works out mathematically, and now we're going to load in the ammunition. So this thing actually has very nice premium pen and standard pen. 215 on the standard is the big difference, in my personal opinion, between the two tanks. The other big difference, of course, is that this vehicle is a 4-shell autoloader, but the biggest difference, I would say, is the penetration, because, of course, the AMX-1390 Defender really struggles on the penetration. It's just not the best, so we're actually going to go for improved control. Vertical stabilizers or aiming time. We'll go for vertical stabs. And toolbox, let's go for that, of course. And for the final one, yeah, this consumable delivery system. So, what is good about this vehicle? Let's take a look at it statistically. So, 2138 DPM, if we go and compare that to the AMX-1390, I'm pretty sure they're pretty dang similar. Yeah, 2044. So, very similar damage per minute values there. As well, let's go take a look at the pen. So, 215 on the standard, 271 on the premium. Very nice. The HE isn't the best, but it's not too bad with 44 millimeters of pen, although it looks like the HE damage is actually pointless, only dealing 15 more average damage. So don't even shoot the HE unless it's like an RHM. The gun has 6 degrees of gun depression, 10 degrees of gun elevation, so it's decently flexible, but it's not the most. The magazine reload is 13 seconds, and it's got a 4-shell autoloader with 160 average damage. So it seems pretty good, but, you know, it just seems like an AMX 1375 brought up a tier. What I find funny is that Wargaming originally called this the AMX 1390 Defender, And they changed the name because it didn't even carry a 90 millimeter. It's a 75 millimeter, just with an extra shell. So what are we up against? Well, we got a Comet M41D Jade the Dragon. Tiger 1. Okay, so the great thing about this vehicle that I'm going to like personally is I think of the penetration. The ability to easily penetrate enemy opponents at tier 8 and especially tier 9 with that 271 millimeters of premium is going to be fantastic. As we talked about the other day on premium penetration, 271 APCR is like 300 millimeters effective. So really, really nice pen there. That's actually the same pen as like a WZ-113 standard at tier 10. So let's make our way over to this position here. I'm actually really liking the mobility on this tank quite quick. Of course, I haven't played this vehicle yet as I just got my hands on it. So let's be quite careful. Don't want to mess up my first game in this vehicle. I will say looks kind of weird. Looks kind of like a chonky monkey. So let's see what we can do. We got the M41D Jade off to the side. We got 2 vehicles over there. Hello, I'm not seeing anybody. That's 3 vehicles. They got a Comet, an M41D, and a Pershing. Okay, so that's a lot of vehicles already, but I don't like the look of that. That's already a lot of deadly vehicles there. Oh, gee. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of back up here, and we do have a T95E2. So let's drive our butthole on out of here because, of course, I do not want to get hit again by that Pershing. So let's reload our clip here. Maybe we can go for the Jade just a couple seconds before we reload as it is. Not too bad. And let's skadoosh our way off to the side here using that very, very good mobility this vehicle does have and start getting some shells into the rear of this Jade. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Oh, no, that's not 3, I guess. Pershing's looking at us. No, thank you. So let's reload our clip once again. I am liking that clip. This tank seems to be very exciting on that clip reload. Pretty dang fun there. So let's back our way on up here. We got a couple seconds before we reload, so let's just wait and tap that Comet maybe. I'm not sure. We got the M41 Jade off to the side. There's a miss, but we do got the Pershing. There's 1 nice penetration into the Pershing. And there's 2, so that's 317 hit points taken off. I will say, I'm actually liking this vehicle more than the AMX 1390. And the reason for that being is because, first of all, the gun seems a lot more accurate on base dispersion. But the second reason is because you've got a much quicker get out on all of the shells. And it doesn't bloom as much, which means that even though it takes a little, it's actually about the same time to get all of your shells out. It's a lot easier to get the shells out, I find, because even if you only pen 2, it's more than only getting 1 shell out with your standard ammo. So let's, or at least for the 1390 standard ammo. So let's make our way off to the side here. No clue where this the M41D went, or the Comet. I guess the M41D is over here, but yeah, no clue where this Comet went. But with the Annihilator left in the enemy team, and we've got our Annihilator, I'm going to try and help out my teammate as much as possible. So let's see what we can do here. Squeezing our way across the map. Speed is obviously key. Alright, so we're going to make our way behind the Annihilator. There's also the Comet right here, so let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get some shells into the enemy Comet, like so. And there's 1 tap into the Comet. Let's see, there's the Annihilator. There's 1 tap into him. There's 2, and let's get that 3rd tap in. Now we can back up. Perfect job from my teammate. And now what we can do is stop this M41D from doing the damage to us. So let's just reload, and in 2 seconds we will have our shells ready and taken out. So I'm actually really liking this vehicle. Seems quite fun. First game we played, not the most damage, 1803, but it seems pretty dang exciting. You definitely have to be wary because it doesn't have any armor, to what I'm aware. So yeah, it has literally no spaced armor apart from that little backplate on the rear, but overall, yeah, it's really not going to stop much. Just shoot it in the turret if you want to penetrate it with high explosive. The hull has no armor, so it's going to be very easy to kill, but the mobility seems great. It's a very, very good power-to-weight ratio. I remember looking at it. It's one of the best power-to-weight ratios at Tier 8. In fact, we can take a look really quick and see just what it says in the Blitz Garage. Where's power-to-weight? Power-to-weight of 26.6, not too bad. And you know what? Yeah, I think it's probably about 30-something. If I think the terrain resistance is very nice in the vehicle, to what I'm aware, which actually makes the power-to-weight better. Yeah, kind of weird how you can make a power-to-weight better. It doesn't make sense if the terrain resistance is better. But yeah, I'm not going to question Wargaming's logic on that one, which is pretty good. So I guess we're just going to wait on in the queue for our next game. Oh, there we go. You're wondering probably why there was a little bit of a space on the timer there, and that's because I tried to say good and my voice completely cracked. So what do we have up against us? AMX Defender and a Defender Mark 1. Okay, not super fun so far. Let's just have a sip of that old iced tea. And we are ready to rumble. Let's make our way in the position here. Hello, FE301. How you doing, pal? So let's see. How long does it take us to get up to about 65 kilometers per hour? Yeah, it's not the best power to weight ratio, as you can see. It definitely takes a little bit of time to get up there, but it is very quick. So that's one thing that's nice. And there you go, 65 kilometers. So we are in position now to get some nice shells out. I do know that this tank has a fantastic camouflage rating. I'm actually, we'll save our shells to the last second there. There's a nice shot into the defender. And we are detected, which kind of sucks. And that defender seems a little bit angry with us, but we're just going to back up and reload. Wargaming gave an autoloader to an autoloader. Completely agreed. I never understood why they made an auto-loading autoloader. But yeah, that Defender Mark 1, he's probably not liking life too much right now. We're just going to plop back out here. So we got the lightweight off to the side. We've got the AMX Defender YOLO rushing. What the absolute heck? Okay, well, not going to question that. There's one shell into him. There's a bounce on his side. Huh. Wow, that shot from that T-29 was sure lucky, wasn't it? So, I don't really... Oh, it was a blind shot. Yeah, it was extremely lucky. Let me fix that comment. So, let's make our way off to the side here. Maybe we can finish off the AMX-13 Defender. The Defender Mark 1's already taken out on their team. I really don't know what their team's doing. There's the Defender. Let's see if we can take him out. Hello, comrade. How are you doing? And dead. Okay, so no more Defender to deal with. That's fine with me. I don't really know what he was doing in the first place. It seemed like he had about 2 total brain cells. So let's make our way off to the side here. Maybe get some shells into the lightweight. Reload. Alright, here we go. There's one shell in. There's two. Nope, there's my teammate blocking me. Sorry, misspoke there. And let's see if we can get that third shell out. There you go. 3 shells out into the lightweight. There goes the FE301 shooting the shell in. And now we got the Tiger 1 off to the side, who, if we reload in just a couple seconds here, will not be liking us too much. So let's reload here, and let's start tapping some shells into the Tiger. So there's one. There's a bounce, there's a pen, and let's get that last one out, of course. So that's about 450 hit points taken off of that Tiger 1, not too shabby. And let's keep reloading here. Keep reloading, keep reloading, keep reloading. Man, that reload is a little bit longer than I thought, but let's get one shell in, and let's finish him off, or my teammate will. Either way, he's taken out, so all that's left are 3 vehicles on the enemy team. Nope, nope. I just had the reflexes to smash my S key and not let him shoot me. So there we go. And let's start going for this T-29. So there's one shell in. Even if he shoots me, I don't care too much. There's 2. Let's go for that third. And there you go. T-29's taken out with 490 damage from us and 2,100 damage brought up on our pallet. Not too bad. I'm actually liking this vehicle. I definitely don't think it's worth the price because, as you can see, it's definitely not overpowered by any means. It's good, and it's definitely fun, but there's no game-breaking aspects about this vehicle. It's kind of just like, you know, the AMX 1390 if it carried a 4-shell autoloader with you taking away the less damage. And honestly, I do think that the 1390 is better because it has more damage per shot. And after they buffed it, it's just a way better vehicle. Not much better, but I do think it is better. So overall impressions, don't buy this vehicle. It's fun. It's definitely not a bad buy, but for the price tag of crates, do not gamble for it. Get your hands on something else like the, honestly, the Defender Mark 1, as I said. If you want to spend that kind of money, just buy the Defender Mark 1. Definitely worth the price. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy out there, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.